Hey everyone, welcome back to the Take on Dallas. It is your girl, Kayla Bree. It's your girl, Kayla Bree. Hey, it's your girl, Kayla Bree. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch this video. So today we are going to do something a little different to my channel, something new. I decided I was going to start this series called Dating in Dallas, and it's just basically going to be a story time about some of the dating experiences that I have had thus far. I have had a whirlwind of experiences in Dallas when it comes to dating. If you're interested, you can continue to watch. Make sure you guys are following us on Instagram at the Take on Dallas, on TikTok at the Take on Dallas, and also join our community app if you are new to Dallas, or if you are in the Dallas area and you are looking for like-minded individuals just like yourself to connect with, network with. Join our app. It is 100% free. It'll be linked all down in the description box for your convenience. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this video.
Look at you walking with a purpose. You ain't gotta change a thing, girl, you're perfect. Come join the real nigga team, you deserve it. Girl, you're looking like the blessing I've been praying for. Girl, this time is up, let me boss you up. I want your body.
Okay, so I felt like it was only right to talk about my very first dating experience here in Dallas. So this will be the very first guy I ever spoke with, that I ever dated. And so yeah, we're gonna start off with that, with this story time, because I feel like it's only appropriate. I kind of grazed over this experience in my 3-year update. If you haven't watched that video, I will go back to that video to kind of get some of the details. But let's start off with how we met. So back then, this is before I even moved to Dallas, so I was on the dating app Plenty of Fish, you guys. And I didn't really take that app really serious. Like, I am not an online dater. I found that out soon after, but I'm just not an online dater. I just don't have time for the swipe or the swipe right or the swipe left or whatever. I just don't have the patience for that. But at this time in my life, I was just, you know, cruising and trying to like figure out what was in Dallas, because I was, like I said, I hadn't moved to Dallas yet. So I kind of wanted to see what the man was looking like, what it was like, what was the fish out here. So I got onto the dating app Plenty of Fish, and this guy had wrote me. And at first I just really skimmed through it because I was just like, you know, whatever. And then he wrote me again, and I was just like, okay, he's writing me again. Plenty of Fish is just one of those dating apps where you kind of get bombarded with messages. So I really wasn't like on there like that. Like, I would get messages, but it wasn't like I was really taking it serious. He had wrote me and I didn't respond, and he wrote me again. And then his profile picture was kind of sketch. It was kind of giving like, this could be a catfish, right? So I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. So I went to his page and I was like, okay, he chocolate. Okay, he chocolate. He might type. He had a nice little yaddy yaddy yaddy. So I was like, all right, like, I'm gonna write back. We started writing back and forth, and then it started to intrigue a conversation. Mind you, this is the only conversation that I'm having on this app, because like I said, I just was not trying to be out there like that. So we decided we were going to exchange numbers. So at this point, like I stated, since I didn't live in Dallas at the time, we just decided we were going to just text. So we would text here and there. And then one day we just decided to hop on a FaceTime call. And I felt like I'm just one of those people that don't like to text. I like to talk on the phone, and especially FaceTime. Like, we are going to FaceTime. So I really wanted to see if this man was really who he said he was. So I got on FaceTime with the man, and he was like, fine, y'all. I was like, oh, like, you wasn't a catfish. Like, you was real for real. You was for real, for real, for real. So I was looking at him like, okay, like, we got off that FaceTime call. It was confirmation for me that I was like, oh, okay, period. So me and my friends had planned a trip to Atlanta. And this is a new situation, right? So I don't really know him like that. We only FaceTime one other time, like that one time, like that was it. And we kind of just text here and there. Me and my friends had planned a trip to Atlanta for one of my friends' birthday. I was just like, okay, girls trip, good time. Me and him are texting, and he had sent me a text along the lines like, I will fly to Atlanta if you want me to, I'll fly to Atlanta tonight. And I was just like, what? So like back then at that point, I was just like, a man is not just gonna fly to Atlanta tonight. Like, that's like, what? I like called his bluff. I was like, yeah, come. If you want to come to Atlanta. Like, come to Atlanta right now. And he was like, all right, bet. Next thing you know, I'm getting a text message like, hey, I'm here. And I was like, I'm looking at my friends like, well, it was me and one of my close friends at the time. So I'm telling her like, yo, he said he's here. And she was like, what? And I was like, I literally called his bluff. Like, he wasn't really gonna show up. And he really showed up. And she was like, he ain't here for real. And I'm like, no, girl, like, he said he's here. Like, he just got a rental car. Like, he's gonna try to come pick me up. And I was just like, at this point, we were on our way to my friend's birthday dinner. Like, we were on the way to the birthday dinner. And I was just like, I just felt so just trapped, because here I am, like, this fine man, like, I mean, fine man is coming to Atlanta solely because I told him to. And I'm just like, what do I do here? Okay, so I sent him the address to our hotel where we were at. And he was just like, okay, I'm gonna go get my room. I'm gonna go do da da da. So then I was just continuing on with my plans. I was like, okay, so I'm going to dinner with my friend. It's her birthday. It's birthday dinner time. We're about to go to the restaurant. So I told him I'm gonna be at this restaurant, da da da. Man, we go to the birthday dinner and he shows up. Like, he was outside. Like, he was like, I'm at so-and-so. And I was just like, I just really couldn't believe that I was in this situation, because I was really calling his bluff. Like, I was like, I really didn't think he was really gonna show up. So my friend was like, what are you gonna do? Like, I didn't want to tell the birthday girl because I was not expecting him to really like fall through for the plans. So he shows up, he's saying hi to everyone. Oh, hey, yeah, sorry, I have to take your friend, da, da, da. And I was just like, this is the most awkward situation, because I really felt like a fucked up friend at that point, because I'm just like, wow, like, I'm really leaving her birthday dinner to go with this random nigga. Like, but when I seen him, and if you would have saw him and saw how beautiful this man was, you would have been like, oh, like, what? Wow. I leave the birthday dinner, right? And I go to the car, and we like literally drive 2 minutes down the road. And I was like, please don't hate me, but I really truly feel like a fucked up person, because like, I just left my friend's birthday dinner, and I just don't feel right leaving her birthday dinner when the whole purpose of me coming to Atlanta was to come to, you know, her birthday stuff. So he was like, no, I understand, I'll take you back. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because at that point, I was like, when I tell you, every inch of my body and the inside was just like, oh my, I just could not believe that he was here. He drops me back off at the birthday dinner. The dinner is basically over at this point, and I was just like, okay, cool. We were on our way to go do other things after the birthday dinner. So she had plans. She had like a whole itinerary of what we were gonna do the night. So I had came back, and she was just like, oh my gosh, like, thank God you came back. I didn't want to do all of the other things without you. And I was just like, I am so sorry. This was not in the plan. Okay, this was not in the plan. I was not trying to like just leave you for this man. You know, it just kind of like happened. I was only, like, I promise you guys, I was probably only gone 30 minutes. Like, not even 30 minutes. Like, I was gone for 30 minutes and I had came right back. So, because I just felt bad. Like, that's not good. Like, you don't just leave your friend's birthday dinner to go with a nigga, you know? We end up going and having a great time. We go from one place to another. And he's starting to get a little impatient with me because like I'm out here having my fun like I'm supposed to with my friends, but he's also here. And he's like, hey, like, is you gonna come meet me, or are we gonna still kick it? What's going on? And I was just like, yeah, me and my friends are doing X, Y, and Z. So now I'm starting to feel bad that I let this man come to Atlanta. So he flew from Dallas to Atlanta just to come see me, and it was just a real bad situation. So I started feeling bad, and me and him was texting back and forth, and I was just like, okay, like, I don't know what to do. Like, do I just go chill with him because he flew all the way here for this? So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just finish the night off, and I'm gonna go hang out with him afterwards. So me and my friends, we finished the night off. Like, we literally went and did our thing, and then I kind of like left kind of abruptly. I really didn't really want to leave, to be honest, because we was having fun. We was in some situations that was actually really lit, like in the same room with the Migos, and we was just like, it was a lit time. And I had to leave because I just felt so bad. So anyway, I meet up with him, and then we meet up at his room because at this point it's like really late. So I meet up with him at his room, and he's like, how was your night? Da da da. I'm just telling him how the night was. And honestly, I had a flight like literally hours after that because it was time to wrap up the trip. So he was like, you could just come here and stay here, and I'll just take you to the airport in the morning. And I was just like, okay. So I ended up having to go get to my hotel room, get all my bags, and then go back to his room. So we went back to the room, and we just talked. We just had a good, nice time. And at that point, I realized that I really liked him. I was like, okay, I really like this. Feels good. Like, this could be something. So I go home, he goes back to Dallas, and now we're like talking every day. Now the communication has amped up, and we are like full blown in this thing, okay? After a minute, like he was just like, you gonna come see me? And I was just like, sure. So he would just buy me plane tickets, and I was like always in Dallas. Like, he would buy plane tickets, I would come out to Dallas, I would be in Dallas for a weekend, and then I would go back. And that happened multiple times before I moved. We ended up making things official. So now this is my man. You're my man, my man, my man. Like, this was my man. I felt like there was like double life things going on. Every time I came to Dallas to visit him, it would just always give off like double life. Like, I don't know, like it was just something in my soul. Like, I felt in my inkling, like you have something else going on. But I just couldn't quite put my finger on, because it wasn't like he was like having a wife and kids. It wasn't giving like wife and kids, but it was definitely giving like, like, am I the only one you're talking to type of thing. But I kind of just like suppressed it, and I didn't even let it get that deep. I just was like, okay, like I'm just not a jealous person. I'm not like a digging type. I'm not gonna go pry into your life. That's just not what I do. If something needs to come to the light, it will, and that's just what I firmly believe, and I have always been that way. So I didn't go prying or anything. But y'all, it was getting nitty gritty to the time that I was supposed to be moving. So now it's like, it's time for me to get my bags, pack my things, get up, move. I was moving here on the 30th, which at the time was on a Friday. Okay, so remember that. It was Friday, and I was supposed to get the keys to my apartment on that Monday. So he told me I could stay with him from Friday to Monday. I mean, it wasn't like I hadn't stayed over there plenty of times before, you know? So I was like, okay, cool. Go to his house, stay with him for the 3 to 4 days while I wait on the keys to my apartment. Y'all, we didn't even make it to Sunday. Like, when I tell you, we broke up before the weekend was even over, and this is how I knew. That solidified it for me that there was something more than what it was, because I get into town. It was his birthday, so I had made this extravagant plan, y'all. I'm new to Dallas. I don't know nothing about nothing. I don't know where nothing is. but he had lent me his car. And he's like, you know, you can take my car for the day, you just handle your business, da da da. But it was his birthday. I'm trying to get all of the things that I had planned in my head. I had a dinner planned. I had balloons, candle lit dinner type thing, chocolate covered strawberries, the whole nine. Like, I had this whole bathtub situation ready. Like, in my head, it was going smooth in my head. But I forgot that, you know, I was new to Dallas. I don't know anything about Dallas, so I'm trying to learn streets in his car, because he let me borrow his car. And I still had a certain time that I had to go pick him up. By the time I was done running the errands, like, I didn't have time to cook. I barely had time to set up. I had barely time to get dressed for the day. And so he had called and was like, he was ready to get picked up. And I was just like, okay, yeah. Like, meanwhile, I'm like trying to get ready. I'm trying to get everything set up. You know how long it takes to light like 1,000 candles? Like, I had the candles lit, and it was just one of those situations where it could have went really, really bad, because I had the balloons, and they was like, you know, the balloons was on the ceiling, and they were like, you know, and I had all these rose petals on the floor, but then I also had the candles. Like, man, it was so pretty. It was so pretty. But I didn't get to execute it like how I wanted to. Like, I needed to clean. Like, I needed to clean up the house. I needed to get the dinner prepared. I didn't have time to do any of those things. So it was just real raggedy, to be honest. Like, it wasn't as thought out as it could have been. So honestly, he's blowing up my phone because he's like, girl, like, why you ain't picking me up? Why you ain't picking me up? Why you ain't picking me up? I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm trying to make it. I'm like rushing to try to get to his apartment, or try to get to his job to go pick him up from work. And by this time, he's livid. Like, he done caught a Uber. He's like, I'm so pissed at you. Like, you didn't come pick me up on time. Like, da da da. He didn't have no idea what I was doing or why I was late. He was just mad. Oh my God, like, I was trying to like beat him there so that he didn't see what I had done. But by the time I had got there, he had beat me in. He was so upset. It was just hard for him to even enjoy what I had even put on. Like, he's seen it, and he was just like, oh, this is what you were doing. But he really couldn't get past the fact that, like, I was late picking him up. And so he let that simmer on his soul all of Saturday. Like, we had a whole argument about it. Like, he was late and da, da, da. He would not let it go. And then Sunday came, he left me in the house by myself the entire day. I'll never forget it. Like, you just gonna leave me in this house by myself all day? Like, that's just so raggedy. He didn't show back up until like maybe like 8 p.m. Mind you, he left at 7 a.m. Like, left me in the house all day. No food, no net. Like, I just couldn't believe, like, he was still mad. Like, he was holding this grudge because I was late picking him up. So he was like, you can use my car tomorrow to, you know, go handle your business, so get your keys. Because at this time, I didn't even have my car yet. So he was like, you can use my car, da da da. So I did that. Like, we went to bed, opposite sides of the bed. Like, it was crazy. We had just, at that point, we were just done. It was like we were done. Like, I moved here and I got my keys. I came and dropped his car back off to him, gave him his keys back, and never spoke. We just never spoke after that. That was literally it. And I was like, I cannot believe I got here and we broke up immediately over me being late picking him up for work. Then later on, I kind of found out the whole real deeper reason why, because I ran into him years later. Now, let me know if y'all want a story time about what happened in that encounter when I ran into him years later. But yeah, that's what happened with my first little flingy flang here in Dallas. So yeah, it was interesting, and it's just one of those times. But let me know if you guys like these type of videos, if you are enjoying the story times. I don't know if I'm like a really good story timer or if I'm a good storyteller, but you know, this is the first one. So let me know in the comment section down below if you guys want more story times. Thumbs this video up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.